in a world where trash turns into deadly power, and survival depends on mastering forces no one truly understands. A boy falls from the sky into the abyss, carrying nothing but anger, pain, and two mysterious gloves. Below, betrayal awaits, fierce battles await, and a truth powerful enough to change everything. So put on your beautiful headphones, grab your favorite snacks, and let's dive into the story. The anime begins with a young girl, saddened by her torn doll. She throws it into the trash and walks away. At that very moment, our protagonist, Rudo, appears. He digs through the garbage searching. The guards spot him and open fire, but he's fast, too fast. He dodges the bullets, escapes, and takes hold of the broken doll. This world is divided into two parts, the wealthy and the poor. Rudo belongs to the poor side. He survives by collecting old things and fixing them. Some youths confront him, mocking and accusing him of stealing. They remind him that his father was a murderer, a criminal. But with just one sharp look from Rudo, their courage fades. Terrified, they run away. Rudo returns to Rigto, the man who found him as a child and raised him. Rudo removes his gloves, revealing his scarred and burned hands. The burns came from his father. People used to fear the sight of those hands. That's why Rigto gave him the gloves. Rigto warns him, "You must stop scavenging through the garbage. If they catch you, they'll throw you into the pit, the same pit where your father was cast before. Be careful, Rudo." From the shadows, a mysterious man watches them in silence. The pit is no ordinary place. It is a massive dump where every criminal is cast to die among the filth. Suddenly, Chiwa appears, Rudo's close friend. Her face is full of worry. She tells him she's afraid he'll be thrown into the pit. Rudo smiles gently and hands her the doll he repaired. She lights up with joy, thanking him sincerely. Later, when Rudo returns home, he finds a horrifying sight. Rigto lies dying, murdered by the mysterious man. Rudo rushes at him in rage, but the stranger strikes him down and walks away. With his final breath, Rigto whispers, "Run, Rudo! Change this wretched world!" The guards storm in and arrest Rudo. They accuse him of killing Rigto. He is left speechless, unable to defend himself. The punishment is decided, execution, by casting him into the pit. Chiwa watches in shock. Her voice trembles as she says, "You really are the son of a murderer." As Rudo is dragged to his fate, he spots the mysterious man watching from afar. The guards push him into the pit. Rudo screams in defiance, vowing revenge. He opens his eyes. All around him is endless garbage. The stench is unbearable. Suddenly, the ground trembles, and from the waste, a massive creature emerges, a monstrous being towering over him. Rudo runs from the giant monster, but more creatures appear and attack. He dodges quickly, but the stench is overwhelming. Blood drips from his mouth. He stumbles, then gathers his courage and rises again. A masked stranger appears. Rudo charges at the beast with all his strength, but it's useless. Their numbers are endless, and the smell makes it worse. They close in on him. Suddenly, a red light bursts from Rudo, wiping them out. Another monster leaps at him and hurls him away. The masked man steps forward and throws Rudo a mask. He puts it on. Finally, he can breathe. With new strength, activates his weapon. He storms through the monsters like a storm, cutting them down in seconds. One remains. He soars into the air and crashes down, smashing its head. The stranger removes his mask. "My name is Engine." Rudo collapses unconscious. When he wakes, he finds himself bound. Rudo mutters, "I have to return to the Ark." Engine replies, "There is no way back." He turns and walks away. Soon people surround Rudo. They ask, "Where did you come from?" "I fell from the Ark," he answers. They cheer in disbelief. No one has ever survived the fall. "We only find corpses at first." They untie him. Rudo thinks they're kind, but they trick him, chaining him inside a cart. "We'll sell him," they say. "Bodies from the Ark are worth a fortune." Their voices grow bitter. "We hate you. You dump your trash here. It poisoned our air, birthed monsters, and destroyed our lives." They throw him scraps of garbage to eat. Instead, Rudo cuts his own fingers and eats them. The men recoil in fear. Rage boils inside him. The same red light bursts out, snapping his chains. From a distance, Engine watches. It is revealed Rudo has a gift, the power to give life to objects and draw out their strength. They are called givers, just like Engine. The men rush him, trying to strip away his chains. Givers are nothing without their tools, they shout. But Rudo shocks them. He wields another object, the only one who can use more than one. He crushes them all, leaving one standing. Before he can strike, Engine grabs his hands. He calms Rudo down. I only wanted to test your strength, he says. I'll tell you everything about this world and about your power, but only if you join the cleaners. Engine contacts his friend, telling him he has found a rare talent. He says Rudo's power is unlike anything he has ever seen. Rudo receives treatment from a doctor. Afterward, he and Engine head out together. While eating, Rudo looks around the city. I always thought the pit was nothing but trash, he mutters. Engine explains. Trash monsters are born from the waste. They must be destroyed. Ordinary weapons don't work on them, but Rudo's gloves, they can. He calls these weapons living tools. Only a handful of people can use them. That's why I want you to join our team, Engine says. Rudo looks at him. If I join you, will you teach me how to return to the Ark? Engine shakes his head. I have no idea how to get back up there. But our leader, he knows a lot. Maybe he has the answer. He gives Rudo some money. Stay here. I'll go meet my friend. Suddenly, a cat snatches the money and runs off. Rudo chases it, grabbing a stick from someone nearby. He catches the cat, but the man approaches and takes his stick back with ease. Rudo notices the man wears the same emblem as Engine. The man activates his weapon and attacks. Rudo dodges quickly. Then the man speaks. I know who you are. My name is Zanka. Engine put me in charge of your training. They talk for a moment. Rudo recalls Rigto's words. Smile when you meet someone new. But he doesn't know how to smile. Zanka mistakes it for mockery. A fight breaks out. Zanka assumes Rudo's gloves are his only living tools. But Rudo's real power is different. He can turn anything he touches into a living tool. The battle rages. Zanka is strong and slams Rudo to the ground. Rudo rises, wielding a toilet plunger. He charges forward. Zanka tries to escape. Rudo leaps high and rains down a storm of filth on him. Engine arrives, laughing at the scene. He takes both of them with him. There, a girl named Rio notices. She gently plays with his hair. Together, they head back home. They arrive at the headquarters where Engin introduces Rudo to Simio. Her living tool is a special pair of glasses that allow her to read a person's nature and abilities. Simio looks at Rudo and notices something unusual within him, but keeps it to herself. She simply says, his body is athletic, he doesn't need training, but his use of his tool is still unstable. After that, they head to meet the leader only to find he isn't there. Simio informs them the leader is on a mission. Rio suggests that Rudo should accompany her as a trainee on the next assignment. Simio begins to explain the mission. A city has reported the approach of garbage beasts. Then she explains further to Rudo. The land is divided into safe zones that support human life, and polluted zones where garbage beasts dwell. The place where you fell is considered one of the most dangerous zones. Most people die the moment they enter. The fact that Engin was with you is nothing short of a miracle. They head out to the area. Rudo asks about some of the people with them and Rio answers, these are the supporters. They don't have powers, but they're an essential part of the team. Suddenly, the beasts appear and begin tearing down the barrier. Rio activates her weapon, a massive pair of scissors. With swift, precise movements, she slashes through the beasts, displaying incredible skill. The supporters gather the beasts and direct them toward her, and she takes them down one by one. Only the giant beast remains. Another beast suddenly awakens and lunges at one of the supporters. Rudo steps in to block the attack, but he can't fully control his power. Rio intervenes quickly, saving him. She insists that she had split the beast in half, but the shocking truth is revealed. The beast isn't affected by living tools. Its body regenerates and reforms itself completely. Rio charges at it again, ripping through its body repeatedly, until she notices a strange glimmer inside. She soars into the air, then dives down with force and tears the object free. It turns out to be a living tool, the true source of the beast's power. In another scene, the man who had previously faced Rudo appears and mutters, "That boy from the Ark, he beat me to the ground." But suddenly, a mysterious figure steps out and asks him, "Where can I find that boy?" The team celebrates Rudo's joining, but deep inside, he feels sad for failing to control his power. Grace approaches him, thanking him for saving his friend during the battle. But Rudo replies, "I couldn't use my strength." Grace smiles and encourages him, saying, "You need to believe in yourself." Rudo then stands up and joins the celebration. Meanwhile, the man who once fought Rudo is seen speaking to the mysterious figure, revealing everything he knows about him. But as soon as he finishes, the figure kills him without hesitation. Back at the base, Semyo informs the group about a new mission. She says a merchant was attacked by a monster and his valuable cargo was stolen. That cargo wasn't ordinary, it was a person from the Ark. This news gives Rudo a spark of hope, believing it could lead him to the way back. The merchant appears before them. Rudo asks, "Did you really have someone from the Ark? Did he tell you anything?" The merchant answers, "He was unconscious. I couldn't ask him a thing." The group follows the merchant to the supposed location of the cargo. As they enter an abandoned building, the merchant pushes them forward, saying, "Here is the Ark dweller." But they soon realize it is nothing but a doll. Suddenly, the ground collapses beneath them, revealing it was all a trap. Two strangers appear before them, declaring, "We want that Ark dweller." It becomes clear they are bandits known as the Raiders. The team retreats, leaving Zanka to face them alone. A girl steps forward, using her ability to create dolls made of mud. Zanka activates his weapon and engages her. But another man emerges from one of the dolls, striking at him. The fight continues fiercely. Zanka struggles to pinpoint the real enemy among the endless mud dolls. Then, with one powerful strike of his bioweapon against the ground, he senses the true location of his opponent. He charges with incredible speed and defeats them both in seconds. But then, the greatest shock of all, the mysterious figure suddenly appears right behind Zanka. The team keeps running, hearing footsteps behind them. They think it's Zanka, but are shocked when a mysterious figure appears. In an instant, he blocks their escape. He looks at Rudo and says, "Come with me. Someone wants to talk to you." Rudo replies sharply, "And what did you do to Zanka?" The mysterious man answers calmly, "I only paralyzed him. He's not dead." At that moment, the stranger activates his relic weapon, which takes the form of sharp claws. Grace steps in front of Rudo to protect him. But suddenly, the claws pierce through Grace's body, killing him in a single strike. Grace's talisman flies into the air, and Rudo catches it in his hand. The scene shifts to the past. A young Rudo sees a man throwing trash away. He runs toward it and finds a broken mask inside. Holding it in his hands, he begins to cry. Recto asks him, "Why are you crying?" Rudo replies, "It's just a little broken, and I want to fix it." From that moment, Rudo's love for repairing things begins. Back to the present. Rudo succeeds in transforming Grace's talisman into a massive relic weapon, shaped like a giant eye with enormous arms. The mysterious man is surprised but smiles with admiration. "Impressive, my name is Jaber." And the battle begins. Rudo stands firmly in place, not moving an inch, while Jaber lunges at him with his claws, yet fails to hit him. Jaber asks in confusion, "How are you avoiding my attacks without moving?" Rudo calmly replies, "I'm not moving. You are the one moving." Jaber strikes again, this time even faster, but the talisman shifts Rudo's position at the perfect moment, allowing him to counterattack. Again and again, Jaber increases his speed, yet he still cannot land a single blow. Finally, Rudo delivers a powerful strike that sends Jaber crashing to the ground. Says, "I've noticed something. Your relic weapon only detects hostile intent directed at you." Then he raises his right hand and continues, "But my right claw contains a powerful neurotoxin. He drives it into his own body as he adds, "If I lose control and start attacking blindly, your weapon won't sense any hostile intent at all." Jabir stands screaming and charges at Rudo with insane speed. The fight begins between them. Rudo tries to dodge his strikes with difficulty, but his tool does not work because of the madness that controls Jabir. Jabir almost finishes Rudo, but at the right moment, Zanka appears and saves him. Zanka says to Rudo, "Let me fight him." Rudo replies, "You are not in the best condition." They think quickly of a plan. Zanka suggests to Rudo, "I will hit you. I cannot move. Your tool will transfer me. My staff has longer reach. It can strike him before his claws reach me." Jabir rises and rushes at them. Zanka prepares. He strikes Rudo. Rudo's tool transfers him directly to Jabir. Zanka lands a strong blow. The plan works. They repeat it more than once. Zanka attacks Jabir from every side. He gives him no chance to attack. Then Zanka gathers all his strength. He strikes the final blow. Jabir crashes violently to the ground. It seems the fight is over, but suddenly, Rudo's tool begins to fade. It turns into ashes. No one knows the reason. At the same time, it becomes clear that Rudo was injured in his back during the battle. Jabir rises again after stabbing himself with his left hand. Zanka asks with surprise, "How do you stand again after I crushed you?" Jabir replies with a faint smile, "With small doses from my left hand, I can remove some pain. The poison of my right hand disappears after 30 minutes only." Jabir gives himself another dose. He grabs Rudo and takes him away. As he comes out of the pit, Engine strikes him suddenly. The blow throws him far away. We discover that the rest of the team were the ones who called and summoned him. Jabir thinks of fighting them. He activates his weapon again, but a mysterious girl comes out from behind him. She holds him and says, "Time is over. We must leave." Jabir refuses at first, but the girl answers firmly, "These are the leader's orders." Jabir decides to leave. He threatens Rudo, saying, "I will kill you next time." Before leaving, he notices the glove on Rudo's hand. He says with interest, "You also have something from that chain." The leader will be very pleased to hear this. Then they leave through a strange opening in the wall. It disappears quickly. Rudo returns to Grace. He holds the amulet, which turned into ashes, in his hands. He says, apologizing, "Sorry, I lost your amulet." Grace smiles and replies, "It is okay." They return home. Rudo sits filled with sadness. Engine approaches him and says, "Well done! You've learned how to use your tool." Rudo suddenly bursts out, "That man hurt Grace." He believes Grace is dead, but he is shocked to find him alive. Grace says, "The credit goes to Ishia, the only cleaner with the power of healing." A man appears from behind them. It becomes clear he is the leader. He introduces himself. "My name is Corvus." He thanks Rudo for his sacrifice, for protecting his team. Then he adds, "Come with me. I have clothes for you." And important information. Rudo puts on his new clothes. Corvus explains, the boundary separates the celestial world from Earth. It is said that anyone who tries to cross it will die. But a woman lives near the boundary. One day, a traveler lost his way, and she helped him. When he asked her why she lived there, she answered, "I watch the ones who fall from above." He also said, "Some come and go without dying. So yes, you can reach it. But the journey is dangerous." Rudo decides to go, but Engine stops him. "How will you go without preparation? You don't even understand your own power yet. You must train or you will die." Rudo goes to rest, but Rio takes him on a tour of the base. She asks him about food in the celestial world. She even asks about sweets. Rudo replies, sweets were only for the rich. Rio brings him a plate full of them. He tastes one, amazed by the flavor. Then he eats more and more, unable to stop. Later, Rudo begins training, but he fails to activate his power. Zanka tells him, "You always like fixing things that others threw away. Try using your power on something broken." Rudo tries. It works. He tries again with other objects, and the results are even better. But his body weakens under the weight of the gloves. Their power is too much for him to handle. He wonders, why did some tools turn to ash, while these weapons remained? Rim answers, It depends on the purpose. When you thought the battle was over, the tools turned to ash. Rudo finally understands. The scene shifts. The leader of the raiders appears. On his back lies a symbol, the same chain as the one on Rudo's glove. The leader tells Rudo he must place a spell on him to protect him from danger. Samuel says there is a giver called Gob. He performs this work by drawing on the body. The whole team prepares to leave with Rudo, heading to the city where this man lives. They cheer loudly with excitement. When they arrive at the city, they see two men blocked from entering, but the team is able to pass inside. The city is covered with drawings everywhere. Rudo asks Engine, "What is the purpose of this spell?" Engine replies, "Do you remember the two men who could not enter the city? The reason is that Gob drew a spell, preventing those with evil intentions from entering. A man appears before them. Engine asks him about Gob. The man answers, "He died this morning." He explains his body was corrupted because he did not stay in the safe zones. He wanted to draw in the polluted areas. He went out without a mask, lost in the joy of drawing. He continues, "This boy is the heir to his living tool, but it will take time before he can use it." Suddenly, the boy takes the pen and runs to the rooftop. The team follows him. The boy says, "Gob will not enjoy his death if we all cry. We must celebrate." He begins releasing the energy of the pen, shocking everyone. Then he starts to draw. Fireworks burst into the sky, filling the city with light. Rudo begins to take off his clothes. The boy starts drawing on his body to reduce the damage from strong blows. The team decides to leave, and Rudo thanks the boy. Engine takes Rudo to a pile of garbage where he chooses some items he likes. They return to the base and find August, the one responsible for making the cleaner's equipment. It seems he has made a mask for Rudo. Engine asks Rudo to remove his collar. We learn that it is a communication tool allowing its user to connect with anyone who places their blood on it. The team sets off to meet the woman in the wasteland. When they arrive, monsters begin to appear. Rudo steps forward with his new mask. Rio fights some monsters with her amazing moves. Zanka gets surrounded by monsters, but Engine lands with a strong strike, wiping them out, except one. Rudo rushes toward it, activates his power on the tool, and defeats the monster with ease. Suddenly, a girl appears. They think she is the woman they are looking for. Rio asks her, "Are there people who go to the Ark?" The girl replies, "Yes." Then she adds, "But I cannot talk more here because of the smell. Come with me to the house." They follow her and arrive at a tall, massive building. They enter inside and she asks them to remove their masks. They climb to the upper floor. Rudo steps forward and asks how to return to the celestial realm. But she replies, "I like people with strong sense, and I like that big man." Everyone is surprised by her answer. Engine says, "We came only for information." She suddenly screams, "You didn't come to talk to me? You came to use me?" She activates her power and Rudo notices she has the same mark on her glove. Suddenly, Delmon releases water at Engine, shocking everyone. Zanka grows furious at her, but she cries and screams at him. Delmon attacks Zanka, but Zanka narrowly escapes. Zanka shouts, "What's wrong with you? You're on our side. Is she controlling you?" Delmon replies, "If you harm her, I won't forgive you." He stands in front of her to protect her. Then he activates his bioweapon. His weapon is a water launcher. If it hits someone, he can control the fluids in their body. He forces them to absorb water until they swell like a balloon. And if they absorb too much, they explode. Rio steps forward, thinking she can calm Delmon, but suddenly, he launches water at her. At that moment, Rudo sinks into his thoughts. The girl plays with his memories. Rudo believes she is Chiwa. She says, "I create scents from the happy moments people spend with their loved ones, and anyone who smells them protects me as if I were that loved one." That's why she asked them to remove their masks. Zanka and Tamsi put on their masks again and move toward her. But Rudo attacks them, thinking she is Chiwa. Rio also joins the fight against them. Tamsi activates his bioweapon. It is a large tool that fires ropes, binding its targets. The more they move, the stronger the restraint becomes. Tamsei spins the tool, trapping everyone inside a sphere. Even the girl is bound. He orders her to release them, but she only screams wildly. The team tears their own bodies, breaking free to save her. But Tamsi spins the sphere faster, smashing the ground beneath them as they bleed heavily. Zanka shouts, "Why did you do this?" Tamsi replies, "Did you forget? The first heavy blow, even if fatal, is cancelled. That is the blessing of Rimlin's seal." Engine awakens behind the girl. The scene shifts back to headquarters. Timio stares at Rodo's picture. The leader approaches and says, "I hope they gather the information without trouble." Timio answers, "With this team I am not worried." But he adds, "You look concerned. Is it because of your analysis of Rodo? Do you wish to speak about the day you met him? What did you see?" The scene cuts back. Engine holds the girl's shoe. He has already recovered thanks to the seal, though he pretended to be dead. Delmon rises and demands answers. Tamsei explains everything. Delmon grows furious, believing his wife had returned to life. Engine returns the shoe to the girl, then confirms the team's safety. Rodo removes his mask and steps toward her. Timio's voice echoes, "I have seen many kinds of people, but Rodo is completely different. It is not only his gloves. Something else grows inside him. I believe he could destroy the world. He is like a curse." Rodo strikes the girl again and again. The others stop him with difficulty. Engine yells, "She is just a girl!" Rodo shouts back, "Because she is a girl, should we let her kill our friends? She trampled on our hearts while laughing like a madwoman." Engine answers, "That is true. But how will we get the information now?" He pulls Rodo aside, asking Tom to heal the girl. Engine says, "You forgot the mission. You let anger take control," Rodo replies sadly. "When I was in the astral, I held myself back. But after falling here, the rule changed. If I hold back, I will lose. So I returned to who I was before I learned restraint. I have not changed. I thought I matured, but I am still a fool." Engine responds, "I once loved beautiful women. If they were open, I gave in instantly. It made me look pathetic. But I fought myself to become stronger. We all go through this. Maturity is a long road." Tom heals the girl and apologizes. He says gently, "If you want, we can talk." The girl whispers, "You would make a good mother. My mother was kind too. Thanks to her, I found my treasure. And because of her, I saw the angel who travels between worlds." The team stares in shock at her words. The story is not over yet, and the next episodes will only get stronger. But the real questions remain. What is the secret behind traveling between worlds? Can Rudo truly find his way back to the Ark? And who is the mysterious leader of the variants? Most importantly, what does he really want from Rudo? All of this will be revealed in the next video. So if you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. I'll see you in the next video.